Hello everyone, I am Mani Mohan, your course instructor for the course on Structural Design 1. In this course, which can be termed as Basic Course of Reinforcement Concrete Design, we will be building up the design concepts of RCC structural elements, and we will design beams, slabs, footings, column, etc. as per the Indian Standard Code of Practice IS 456-2000. Concrete is being used extensively as the construction material for buildings, bridges, water tanks, bunkers, silos, chimneys, tunnels, etc. Pause the video for a moment and think which form of concrete is the most commonly used construction material and why. Thumbs up if you have figured out the answer. You can follow up now and compare your answers. Firstly, let me very briefly tell you how is concrete made. It is in general made by mixing together sand, gravel, cement and water. This mix, when is cast in the desired shape, results in a solid mass when the well-defined property after it has been suitably cured with water for a few days. Reasons for its popularity may be largely attributed to the ingredient material that make concrete are easily available and are relatively economical. The preparation of concrete does not require skilled labor and it can be cast into a variety of shapes and sizes easily. Concrete is durable under hostile environments like concrete exposed to severe rain, alternate wetting and drying, or occasionally freezing while wet, or severe condensation, or concrete being completely immersed in seawater, or concrete exposed to the coastal environment, etc. etc. Plain concrete is strong in compression but is weak in tension. Hence, use as a structural material is limited to situations where significant tensile stresses and strain do not develop. As can be seen in the figure, where wide tensile cracks develop in the tensile zone of the slab due to the bending under the action of load. To overcome this problem in concrete, it is being popularly used as a composite material in the form of reinforced concrete. Reinforced concrete is a composite material with steel bars embedded in the concrete for compensating its inability to resist tension in the tension zone, as for example in the case of flexural members like beams, slabs, etc. Inclusion of steel bars in concrete also supplement it with increased compressive strength, as for example in the case of columns. Moreover, the reinforcing steel imparts ductility to the material concrete that is otherwise brittle. So we have answered about which form of concrete is widely used. Other than RCC, pre-stressed concrete, fiber reinforced concrete and ferrocement are other forms of concrete composites. In this course, we will talk only about the RCC member design. Again, pause the video for a moment and answer, what is structural design? Great, if you could think upon the answer. Let us get aware first that structural design is a part of structural engineering, which is a subdivision of civil engineering. Structural design is a methodical investigation to get the economical specification of a structure or a structural element to carry the predicted load safely. With the application of structural design, we can obtain the required size, grade, reinforcement, etc. of structural members to withstand the internal forces calculated from the structural analysis. Structural engineers are trained to design the structural elements accurately and supervise during construction to ensure the proper implementation of the structural design. Can you think upon the answer to the last question? Before starting the design, what should be the goals or objective of structural design? Pause the video again and start thinking about it. Well, the main objectives while designing any structure are to satisfy basic requirements, which I call as C. S repeated 3 times. S stands for stability. Whatever structure you are going to design should be stable first. Without the requirements getting satisfied, there is no point designing the structure. Under the action of loads, the structure should not overturn. Next, it should not slide. And lastly, the structural member, as can be seen, it should not buckle. Next S is strength. We have to assure that the design structure should have the strength to resist safely the stresses induced by the loads, including environmental loads in the various structural members and their connections. Last S is serviceability. The structure design should ensure satisfactory performance under service load conditions and should be durable, implying to provide adequate stiffness and reinforcement to check deflections, crack widths, and the vibration within the acceptable limit. The other two conditions that a sensible engineer should bear in mind are economy and aesthetics. It is indeed a challenge and a responsibility for the structural designer to design a structure that is not only appropriate for the architecture but also strikes the right balance between safety and economy. Thank you.